Good evening, everyone. Welcome back, folks. Today is Sunday, December 11th, 2022. We are your hosts, Samantha
and Chris,
back with another episode of MMTV. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Tonight, Chris is back with a new original music video.
In order to be what we are, we have to come out of what we are not. Now, in here, you and I are sitting in a body. Now, in a few years, this body will die, go back to dust. Am I the body? Is this what I am? I live in it. If I raise my hand, I raise my hand. But am I the body? What am I?
This week there will be a half-down Wednesday due to a teacher in-service day. Enjoy the time off and maybe even bake something. Speaking of baking, first up we have Gage's segment on recipe reviews, then right after, Ember and Remy take it away with Fake It Till You Bake It.
Welcome back to Fake It Till You Bake It
with Ember and Remy.
And this week we made garlic parm fries with cheese sauce.
You want the good stuff?
Yeah.
We faked it.
And we baked it.
Come back next week for more.
Speaking of the half day, Marketplace is hosting a Dine to Donate this Wednesday in support of the 2025 class. Stop by after school to get a bite to eat. It's definitely great food for a great cause. Next up, we drive into the world of missing people with Lexi, and then Gabe with his segment on historical subjects.
Hello, my name is Lexi and this is Missing People, the segment where each week I'll report on a different person who's disappeared. This week we have Eleanor Carnival, a white female with blue eyes and blonde hair, at the time of her disappearance on August 6th of 1969. She weighed around 135 pounds and was around 5 feet 6 inches tall. At the time of her disappearance, she was living in Lowell, Massachusetts with her mother. She'd only moved in days earlier on August 1st of the same year, leaving her husband and 2 children. She had left all of her clothes as well. Only 2 days after she went missing, her car, a 1966 sedan, was found abandoned in the parking lot of the St. John's Hospital in Lowell. It was noted by the staff of the hospital that it had been there for a while. Eleanor was described as a very devoted mother who went to visit her children regularly, even though she and her husband had been separated. After they had separated, she started to date other men. One of the men that she was dating was asked to take a polygraph test. He passed. On August 18th, it was reported by her husband that she had called him, stating that she was staying at a hotel in Boston, Massachusetts. However, the police have never been able to prove this. Some of her friends believe that she may have left on her own accord and went to California or Ohio. Her family discounted this theory because they believe that she would have never left her own children. If you have any information regarding her whereabouts, please contact the Massachusetts State Police. Thank you for your time.
With all the sickness going around, it's a great time to get a booster or the flu shot. But where? Well, on this Tuesday, December 13th, from 4 to 7 p.m., there is a free clinic located at the W.E.B. Du Bois Middle School. Though make sure you register ahead of time as it is required. Let's beat this flu season together. Next up, Leo takes it away with his segment, Music Review. Then shortly after, Ava shares a segment looking at the Williams School.
Hello and welcome to It's Music. I'm your host Leo, and today we're going to talk about the seminal 1994 Jeff Buckley album, Grace. Jeff Buckley is one of my favorite musicians ever. He's a very cool guy, arguably the greatest songwriter ever. That's a little bit of an overstatement, but not that much of an overstatement. But Leo, if this Jeff Buckley guy is so cool, he probably had some kind of long, storied career where he released 1 billion albums, and you can still feel his influence on musicians today. And while that last part is true, Jeff only released like 2.5 albums, because in 1997, he caught a spot of the old accidental drowning, and R.I.P. Jeff, R.I.P. our boy. That's a little insensitive, whatever. Because of this, Jeff's only albums are this, Grace, this weird little live album thing that came out before it that's also really good, there's a bunch of good songs on it, and a kind of half-finished version of his last album that probably would have been like one of the best albums ever, but he didn't finish it, so we'll never know. Now, what makes Grace here so good is not in the macros. It's a guitar-based drums singer guy album. That's just what it is. But it's the specialties of that guitar, bass, drum, and singer guy that make this album so great. First off, Jeff's voice. Jeff Buckley is probably my favorite male singer ever, and he should be yours, because this guy has that kind of like once in a generation kind of voice. Freddie Mercury kind of had it a little bit, you could say. Sam Cooke, he's kind of different. Jeff had such a wide range, and he had a way of hitting these high falsetto notes in a way that just nobody else could. Other people can, but it doesn't sound good. I really dislike super conventionally good singers. I think they sound really annoying. I even can't stand Freddie Mercury sometimes, but Jeff is the outlier. The other thing that makes Grace so good that nobody else seems to talk about is that all of these songs are in open guitar tunings. You play a regular guitar, it sounds like this. And on Grace, Jeff has tuned his guitar so that when you strum it, it sounds like a chord. If you stripped any song on Grace down to Jeff and a guitar, it would still sound like nothing you've heard, because he's not working with the normal guitar that everybody else is working with. He's working with a Jeff guitar, patented. And even though the way these songs are written and the chords he uses and the kind of harmonies he uses sounds nothing like you've ever heard, it also sounds like everything you've ever heard. Every time you hear one of the songs on this album, you're like, wow, this is a song I've been hearing since I was a kid, except wait, you haven't. Case in point, Love You Should Have Come Over, and also Last Goodbye. There's not anything I could say about them, just go listen to them. They are arguably the 2 greatest songs I've ever heard that are under 40 minutes. Grace is also amazing. The song, it has this like 12/8 jazz feel thing going on. Mojo Pin too, this song is like the epitome of waking up in a hotel room you don't recognize and feeling like absolute garbage, but also has like a weird like spiritual rebirth aspect to it. I don't know. Sadly, Grace does not work best as an album because of one thing. It ends super underwhelmingly. Eternal Life is a song that is a good song, but it is nowhere near as good as the rest of the songs on this album, and it has a completely different vibe, and it's like, oh, what is going on? And then you have Dream Brother, while also a very good song, just doesn't feel like enough of a conclusion. Could this have been something Jeff could have gotten better at on his next album? Yes. Will he get better at it? No, because he's a skeleton, and skeletons can't make music. Grace, this right here, this is all we have of Jeff Buckley as an artist, really. And that gives it this weird significance that not really any other albums have to me. Strong 9, maybe a 10, I don't know.
The musical auditions are coming up this week. If you are in 10th or 9th grade and interested in auditioning, please come Monday, December 12th from 3 to 5 p.m. And if you are a senior or junior, please come Thursday, December 15th around 3 to 5 p.m. Actors don't need to prepare anything. Even if you are just interested in stage crew, please come as well. Good luck to everyone auditioning. It's going to be a great year. Now Hyatt takes over with his segment, The Short Skit. Then Emmett shares with us this week's video game.
It all started that fateful day when I tried to get on the playground, but it wasn't there. I decided to start looking for clues. My first stop was down by the cross-country track. What I saw shocked me. The bushes were gone. I decided to have a little taste to make sure it really was who I thought it was. He's back. Then I decided to have a quick lap on the track, because I knew that after my lap was done, the kidnapper would strike again. I quickly, however, realized that I was not physically fit enough to take a lap on the track, so I stopped. And that was when I saw something in the distance. It was him! The bandit I put away in 1993, all those years ago. It was time I got my revenge. You! Yes, you. You know what you are. I remember you. Back in the summer of 93. Yeah. That's what I thought. You thought you were just a tree. Everyone thought you were. I know exactly what you are. Come on, speak up. All right. You asked for this.
The tree continued its playground kidnapping spree until 2036, which was caught by Hyatt's child. May Hyatt rest in peace forever.
If you have been struggling with math, you are certainly not alone. Though thankfully, a private math tutor is available. His name is Cole Charbonneau, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and he is a native to the Berkshire area, as well as a graduate from the University of Vermont, where he earned his Bachelor in Science in Pure Mathematics. This is such a great opportunity, so don't be afraid to send him a message over text or email. His email is colecharbonnet@gmail.com, while his number is 413-854-1225. More information is posted in the hallways. Last but not least, Natalie whisks us away to the destination of the week. Then, when we return, Emma will give us the weekly weather forecast as well as the lunch menu.
Thanks, Emma, for rounding off the night. Sadly, this brings us to the end of this week's edition. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We'll be back same time, same channel next week. This has been your host, Chris.
And Samantha. Have a good night, everyone.